Live Jump with Anita Brad.
And good evening. Hi, cousin. And good evening, everybody. You're watching Live Talk with Benita Bradley. I am your host, Benita Bradley. Let me tell you guys something. I love my introduction. I just love my introduction. Um, I had it done. We had one introduction, but the music, Facebook kept flagging us, so we had to redo the whole thing. And I'm telling y'all, I love my introduction. Can I play it for y'all one more time? Okay, just indulge me for a minute. Here it goes.
Live Jump with Anita Brad.
And again, good evening, everybody. I just had to play that introduction for you guys one more time. Shout out to JD. Pretty soon, you guys will be able to uh, utilize his services. The one who made the intro and the outro videos, and all of the videos that you see during the show, you'll be able to utilize his services real soon. He's putting some things together so that you can have the videos that you see on my show as well. Okay, so this evening we have a really good topic for you, and I could not think of anybody better to do this particular topic, to come and speak to us this evening, than my very own cousin. For a long time, she has been my inspiration. I tell her this all the time. She has been my inspiration from day one when it comes to exercising and taking care of your temple and things of that nature, because I was at a point where I wasn't as concerned about all of those things. And she even taught me how to get the most out of working on the treadmill, just things I didn't know. So, and so I've kept true to everything she has taught me uh, about eating better, exercising, all of those things. And so today, during our series of the Functioning Smile, I wanted to have her to come on and just let us know how important it is that how exercise can help us, not just with our physical body, but since we're talking about depression, we're going to talk about how exercise is just as powerful as any antidepressants. And uh, I have information for you from Harvard School of Psychiatry that I'm going to read to you. So you guys know when I say something, I always back it up with really good research statistics and things of that nature from very reputable sources, so that there is a weight behind what I'm saying and I'm not just talking off the top of my head. And so, with that being said, I'm going to let my cousin introduce herself to you all. And at the end of the show, cousin, I got a surprise for you. You might need to, let me see, unmute your mic. Hold on, let me see. I got you. Okay, you got to unmute yourself. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Well, good evening. Good evening. First, I just want to tell you it's just an honor and a privilege to be a part of this. And I just think I feel special that you even asked me to do this, you know. And I do remember when you first was in Orlando, and you asked me how to get the best out of the treadmill. And I said, don't let the treadmill work you. You have to work the treadmill.
Yeah.
So fitness have always been a part of my life. I didn't know type of exercise in high school, but after I graduated from high school, I joined my first gym when I was 19, and I'm almost 53, and I've always done some type of physical activity. I believe it's my gift. It's the gift from God that I have, and I really love it. I love to inspire, and I love to motivate other people, especially our people, to get up and get moving. And there's so many health benefits to exercise. Like you said, it's not just our physical temple, but upstairs. It's the cheapest therapy around. I tell people all the time, if you can invest in a pair of tennis shoes, it's the cheapest therapy that you could ever ask for. And a lot of times we only look at exercise as a form to lose weight.
Yeah.
We don't think about all the benefits that it brings. And I always say weight loss is only a small benefit from exercising. You have so many other benefits. It's a great stress reliever. And a lot of people that are dealing with anxiety and depression, it's a part of life. We're going to have stress. We're going to have those things that come up upon us, but we have to have other outlets. And it's not just the word of God. You have to get up. You have to get moving. And we know anytime you have a surgery, the first thing they want you to do is to get up and to get moving, not just for your physical body, but for you mentally, because your body just went through something. So we got to get the mind to get to moving. So I always say it's certain endorphins. You have it on the screen. It relieves like a happy drug. It changes our mood. It changes everything about us. You know, when you exercise, you feel better about yourself. It's not so much just you feeling, it's the endorphins that was given off that makes you feel that way. You feel lighter. You feel less stressed, less depressed. Now, we're not going to say it's the cure all, because we do have some people that deals with severe depression. Severe anxiety. So exercise will be a part of their therapy outside of seeking other help. But for the other of us that does not need that, just lacing up, put on a pair of shoes, going on a yoga mat, swimming, whatever it is that makes you get out of your head, that's what you should do. Whatever it makes you to get all that out. You know, the pavement can be your altar. Your yoga mat can be your altar. And the thing is, you can drop things off. Just leave it there. And we try to deal with too much upstairs instead of just learning how to breathe, inhale and exhale.
Angela, you have this saying that when you're running, you leave it all on the pavement. Tell us what you mean when you say that.
You know, a lot of times when I'm actually running, it's my happy place. Right. And the longer I run, the better I feel. So it's nothing for me to run 9 miles on a given, 10 miles on a given. It's because as I'm running, God is dealing with me, and it's about me. And it's certain things that's going on with me that I probably have not dealt with, but He deals with me right then. And so if it's some stuff, whether it's bitterness, whatever it is, I just leave it on the pavement. I don't pick it up. I drop it right off.
Right.
And that is really, really important. And so that's my therapy.
That
is my therapy right there. I just leave it. If it surfaces up and I choose to deal with it, if we don't confront it, we can't deal with it. So when it comes up, out there, just me and God running.
Mhm.
Oh, that comes up. I have that
Right.
opportunity to deal with it, and I leave it on the pavement. I don't take it back to my car.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
really important.
yeah.
That's really
It's
important.
very important.
And let me tell you guys another thing. You guys know I have not been shy about sharing my particular journey with you all about depression and anxiety. Um, I just really, I don't have a fear about it, because once you hear those terms, normally what comes with it, particularly if you're in the church or you've been in ministry for a long time, the first thing the enemy try to make you feel is shame, embarrassed, and oh, nobody else is going through. Oh, that's a spirit. We get so much thrown at us in a day's time until what happens is, instead of us reaching out for help, we turn inwardly to ourselves, and that's when we begin to not want to reach out, not want to talk to people. That's when we start to isolate ourselves. I went through all of that when my daughter died suddenly. I'm not shy. I tell this story all the time. When she died suddenly, I did not know how to handle that, because 6 months prior, one of my best girlfriends died, and the thing about it, when they both died, I did not only carry grief and sorrow, I also carried guilt. Well, why guilt? I carried guilt because when I had to have brain surgery, those were the two people that I listed as I gave those two people power of attorney over me. In case something went wrong with the surgery, because the tumor is in such a difficult and sensitive area, they were saying what the percentages were. So I had to give someone power of attorney over me, and it was my eldest daughter and one of my best girlfriends. They were both there at the hospital, so I gave them power of attorney over me. So it turned out that both of them died before me, 6 months apart. So I carried guilt. I was like, wait a minute, they were supposed to outlive me in case something happened to me. And so I had to deal with all of that. And finally, I did go see my doctor, and my doctor suggested that I go see a psychologist, or psychiatrist, or what have you. And my first meeting, that's when I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And I thought, okay, well, this just gonna last a little while, then I'll be okay. It did not just last a little while. I would find myself, getting up in the morning, get a shower, get back in the bed. It was routine. And I think the only thing that did kind of save me from just blowing up was the fact that I had already began to change my eating habits, number one. And then number two, I understood that there is a thing called depression weight, and how when those endorphins and all of those things stop working, we cannot lose weight without that. And so all of those things were on my mind. And so what made me want to do this segment now and have my cousin here with me is that March is knocking on the door. Everything happened in March. She got married March 3rd. She was dead by March 31st, And so March is a very difficult month for me. And so I've already begun to reach out to people that are close to me and say, hey, I'm going to need you. I'm already preparing my support system to be on standby, because listen, I am not a robot. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't still bother me. And I think that's where we get in trouble, when we start pretending like stuff don't bother us. And the one thing I really, really love when you say, leave it all on the pavement, you really, that thing really sticks in my mind, because, and then the way you explained it, it's like, sometimes there are just things that you and God got to work out.
Yes,
and just absolutely. You and God, And so I am so thankful that you are here, because I couldn't think of anybody else.
Well, I want to say this. depression and anxiety, they are very real. It doesn't matter if you save, unsaved. Life itself brings about things. And there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel or seeking help. For so long, in the body of Christ, we say Jesus can fix everything. Well, Jesus can fix everything. God has given man wisdom and knowledge with medicine and technology. And we have to seek help. That is definitely for sure. And I'm a witness to what you were going through.
Yeah.
I saw you only the brief time that you was here in Orlando during that time, but I called and I checked on you. So I knew what you were dealing with was real. And I knew you was called. I knew you was anointed, appointed, and preaching and prophesying. But that did not change what you was living with and what you was dealing with, because it is actually real. But one thing I like what you said, when you start getting those tools, I got to shake myself. After I went to go see the physician, I knew I had to get up. I had to get up and move. I can't stay where I am. I cannot stay here. So I got to do something. I don't care how small it is. If I can just make it to the mailbox and back to the house, that was better than what you did yesterday. If I can make it to the corner and back, we have to get to that place. And it's almost like when you was asking me about it, it's like laying extra weight down. It's like the more I laid down, the faster I was able to run. Lay aside every weight that easily beset you. Even when you're running, the heavier you are, the harder it is to run.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You get rid of some of that weight. Oh, you can fly. And I ain't talking about just physically. I'm talking about emotionally, mentally. When you start releasing that stuff, you're so much better, not only to yourself, but the people around you. When we are burdened down, we were dealing with whatever it is. Whatever it is, stress, anxiety, especially during this COVID season. So many people losing their jobs, so many people losing family members, so many of the uncertainty of life, period. Will I get COVID? Will I succumb to COVID? A lot of us have had some of those same questions up late at night. But what I do, I get up every day. Every day, I got to make an effort to take care of me. Of my temple, the place that he dwells, the place that he lives. I need to take care of that. And I know my mom she said, well, Angela, you need to be careful being out there. I say, Mom, if I wake up and I'm short of breath and I can't get up and run, I know something is wrong. But as long as I got breath in my body and I'm able to get up and I'm able to make an investment in my health and in myself, I'm going to do it. Because not only does it help me physically, it helps me deal with all the what ifs. What if this happened tomorrow? What if this happened? What if my parents end up with the COVID? And all that is stress. We don't look at it like that. Or all that's anxiety. And we have to counteract it. We have to actually fight it. Our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty. And so even with that, it's still a battle. Every day I get up to go running. Do I feel like running?
Nope.
But most days I do. Most days I do because I condition myself and I know the benefits in the long haul, and I'm going to feel so much better if I get up and I do something. And a lot of times what I was thinking about prior to running, I don't even think about it anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me read a little bit to you all from the Harvard Medical School of Psychiatry. It says exercise is an all-natural treatment to fight depression. And then it says exercise is as effective as antidepressants in some cases. Now, here's what they said. 1 in 10 adults in the United States struggle with depression, and antidepressant medications are a common way to treat the condition. Listen to this. However, pills aren't the only solution.
Absolutely.
Research shows that exercise is also an effective treatment. For some people, it works as well as antidepressants, although exercise alone isn't enough for someone with severe depression.
Absolutely.
What you said earlier. Now, this is a quote from Dr. Michael Craig Miller, the assistant professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. And so they have this thing called the exercise effect. It says exercising starts a biological cascade of events that results in many health benefits, such as protecting against heart disease and diabetes, improving sleep, lowering your blood pressure. He says high intensity exercise releases the body's feel good chemicals called endorphins. Well, what are endorphins? Endorphins act on the opiate receptors. This is in your brain. And they do, they reduce pain and they boost your pleasure senses. And what happens when the pain is reduced and the pleasure is induced, this results in you feeling well all over, not just your body. It gives you a sense of overall well-being. So that's what happens. And listen to this. And he says, resulting in the runner's high, which is what my cousin has because she indeed is a runner, the joggers report. But for most of us, the real value is in low intensity exercise that we can sustain over time. He says that kind of activity spurs the release of protein chemicals, protein called neurotrophic or growth factors, which cause nerve cells to grow and make new connections. The brain, here's what he said. The improvement in the brain function, listen to this, makes you feel better. In people who are depressed, neuroscientists have noticed that the hippocampus in the brain, that's the region that helps regulate mood, is smaller. So Dr. Miller says that exercise supports nerve cell growth in the hippocampus, improving nerve cell connectors, which help relieve depression. That is what Dr. Miller said. He is the assistant professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. And I have one more thing. Here's the challenge. The challenge is getting started. It says depression manifests physically by causing disturbed sleep, reduced energy, appetite changes, body aches, and increased pain perception, all which can result in less motivation to exercise. I can attest to that. That is very true. And here's another thing Dr. Miller says. It's hard. It's a hard cycle to break, but Dr. Miller says getting up, this is what my cousin was saying earlier, getting up and moving just a little bit will help. Start with 5 minutes one day of walking. The next day, you can get up to 10 minutes. The next day, go to 15 minutes. And before you know it, you have created this regimen of health for yourself, and not just physically, but also mentally. Here's what he said. It's unclear how long you need to exercise or how intensely before nerve cells improvement begins alleviating depression symptoms. You should feel better a few weeks after you begin exercising. But this is a long-term treatment. And I think you said this too. This is not a one-time fix all. He said, pick something that you can sustain over time. Dr. Miller suggests that the key is to pick something you like and something you can keep doing.
Absolutely.
That is from Dr. Miller, again, the assistant professor of the psychiatry of Harvard Medical School. And so I have a few videos of my cousin working out. So I want to start sharing some of her videos. And then before we go off, I have a surprise video that I had made for her. She haven't seen this video. And so I took some pictures from one of her classes or one of her events that she was at. And I gave him over to JD, and he made a video, like a little movie. He put music to it and all that stuff. She has no idea that this was going to happen. So before we go out, I'm going to hit her with it. So right now, let's just take a look at some of her work. Here we go. I love to see you during your classes and workout. I wanted to get that yoga video on here, but for some reason we could not download.
You couldn't get it.
Couldn't
Wow.
get it. I really want to get that one. I said, now that is incredible. So when you first started exercising and running, when you first started running, at the time, did you see yourself, because you won medals, you ran in marathons, you know?
I've always kind of like just run, but I never competed.
Okay.
I never competed. And back in 2012, I had back surgery.
Okay.
And I was wondering if I was going to ever be able to run again, if I was going to ever be able to do the activity that I used to do, because it was in my lower lumbar. And I was one that had to do to the mailbox after surgery, back to the house, down the street, back and forth. And then like 3 months later, I was able to go back to the gym and start working out.
Okay.
And while I was home healing, I found Black Girls Run.
Right.
And I saw these young ladies, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to run again. You know, my back is all jacked up. And I started going to the little group runs. And lo and behold, my happy feet came back.
Right.
And I got with a group of girls, and they convinced me to do my first marathon. And I kind of like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this and stuff. And I had done some half marathons. And from there on up until now, I've done like 8 marathons. I don't know how many halves. I've done an ultra. And I just feel it's definitely a gift that I'm conditioned to run long distance. I just thank God it's a part of my gift to be able to endure.
Yeah.
Because in order to run long distance, not just physically strong, you have to be mentally strong, because at some point the body wants to clock out. Okay, we tired. We done did a half marathon. Can we just stop? But you have to be conditioned, not just physically, but mentally. And so I thank God for the gift of endurance.
That's good.
That is a gift. That is a gift. I tell people all the time, you don't have to run a marathon to be healthy. You don't have to do a half marathon. You know, like you said, you find that thing that you enjoy doing. And I'm just blessed to enjoy more than one thing. I love cycling. I love yoga. I love the whole being of just being healthy. And I like to try different things, because the body, muscle has memory. It get used to that. Yep. So that's how people get to a plateau. They started walking, they started running. Oh, this ain't happening for me this morning. You need to switch it up. You need to change some things up. So that's how I actually got in to back running. But I always ran solo by myself. I just knew that I could. I mean, but when I got with a certain group of young ladies, I was able to kind of like perfect. I never had a coach, never had anything like that. The Lord was my coach.
Right.
The Lord was my coach to help me achieve a lot of that. And that's how I just lace up and just go. And I understand, if God doesn't show up, if he does not give me the ability, if he doesn't, my body's not healthy, if he doesn't allow my heart to function, if he don't allow my lungs to function, I cannot do it.
Right. Right.
And so he's given me the ability. It's the rest of it is up to me. So I do recognize that. So when people say, oh, you just running, it's a gift.
Right.
It is. Right. I truly say it's definitely a gift from God, you know?
Yeah. So what would you say to someone? I always like to use myself as an example, just for the sake of, not being flagged. So I like to use myself. So nobody will send me a cease and desist letter. So somebody like me. So there are times when I'm really, really active in my exercise regimen. And then there are times when I don't have the mental capacity to press forward. How would you say to someone like me that, you know, I started doing yoga just by watching you, and I absolutely Love it. The only thing I have not tried yet was hot yoga.
I
And
love hot yoga.
I know you every time I come home, we're supposed to have a hot yoga date, but I be in and I be out.
Yeah.
So
Like lightning. You come in like lightning, gone.
And I'm gone. I know I owe you a hot yoga date. I promise you we're gonna have it. And
Yes.
so I started doing yoga just by watching you and then by reading up on it and understanding that yoga also has benefits of helping with depression and anxiety, just for the fact that it helps you center yourself, it helps you center your being. And I do know a lot of Christians have a huge issue with other Christians that do yoga. I see it posted all the time. People are asking, do Christians do yoga? One lady asked me, you do yoga, who when you meditate, who do you meditate to? You know, questions like that. And I'm just like, honey, I talk to the same God you talk to. I mean, and sometimes I don't talk at all. I just listen to the quiet, listen to the peace that surrounds me. And so, what would you say, number one, about yoga that has so many benefits? What would you say to Christians who, I'm going to say it how I feel it, who judge us because we do yoga?
Okay, I remember when I first started doing yoga. I've been practicing yoga now for like over 10 years. I kind of like waited until my son graduated from high school because it freed up my time that I could actually go. And one of the things that was said to me that it's a code, you shouldn't be doing that and all that kind of stuff. And I did not see that. I did not see it as being a code. I wasn't chanting. I wasn't talking to Buddha. I wasn't doing anything, but I saw all the benefits that it gave me. It gave me, I had so much clarity when I did yoga. It helped with my breathing for my running. It helped me. Once I run, my body get all tight. When I go to yoga, it opens it all back up. It taught me how to be able to receive and not just to give. And I kind of switched the type of practice of yoga that I was doing. Now I'm doing more like a flow yoga. And one of the things I love about it, when we come in, you set your own mantra. What do you want? What do you want to get out of this practice? Do you want more peace? Do you want more love? Do you want more joy? And I find myself a lot of times, like you, I'm praying to God while I'm in yoga. You know, so when we're there and you have that moment where you just laying flat out and you begin to, I see people crying because your mat, again, is your altar.
It's your altar, yeah.
It is your altar. And when you show up on that mat, that space, that is my space. That's my space there. It's called mindful movement. I am moving and I'm mindful about what I am doing. So I've never chanted.
Right.
I've never talked to Buddha or anyone like that. I'm a still believer. I still love God. I went to yoga today. And when I got done with yoga, I came home and I found myself in the house of God. I didn't serve two masters. I only served one God. I did that for me. I did that for me. That's what makes me happy. That's what keeps me sound. And it's a part of my workout regimen. I don't see where in the Bible, thou shalt not do yoga. He does say, thou shalt not have no other God before me. And my yoga is not before God. I have found a way where I can still practice yoga on Sunday and still find myself in the house of God during COVID season. So, I mean, I love the benefits of it, and it works for me, and it centers me, it grounds me, it roots me, you know. So everybody got to find their own thing. And if you're a believer and you don't like deep breathing in a room with other people, yoga is not for you.
It's not for you.
It's not for you. If you feel like you're going to be in a room and you're going to be chatting like we seen Tina Turner doing in the movie, what's love got to do with it? Right. That is not what we do in yoga. That's a whole different thing right there. So that's not why I do it, for so many other benefits. Right. And you can't knock something if you haven't tried it. And a lot of times we look at a lot of stuff to be honest, Benita, it's a lot of stuff we as believers would not be doing if we really studied behind it.
Right.
You know, do you not go to the gym because the gym is owned by somebody unsaved? Do you not go to the gym because they playing hip hop music?
Right.
We go to those places.
Grocery stores.
Everything. You know, so I have found so many health benefits to doing yoga. It helps me as an individual. And a lot of times, you know, when I'm laying there and I'm giving gratitude, when I finish my practice, I'm just giving God, thank you. Thank you for the breath of life. Thank you for the ability to be able to move and that I'm able to breathe, because I recognize the breath that I breathe is not my own.
Yes.
So when I'm in a room and I hear the breath of life, it's such gratitude. It's all in the mind. It's all what you want to receive. It's all about what you want. You know, so we are all on this journey.
Yes.
And on our walk with God. So if you have talked to your Heavenly Father and He told you yoga is not for you, follow what your Lord tells you to do.
And amen and amen again.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell you. On that note, I'm not gonna tell you God told you not to do yoga. I'm not gonna tell you to go do it.
Right. Follow what He told you to do.
Follow what God has told you to do.
Yeah, and that's been my thing. The other thing that I found out, because before I had the brain surgery, the tumor was growing to such a degree, I kept having strokes. And so what I found that I had to learn to walk again. Every time I had a stroke, it would get worse and worse. So I found that yoga helped me to strengthen my balance back. You know what I'm saying? It helped me. And how I knew, because at first, when I first started yoga, I kept falling because my left side had been so affected. But after a while, I kept at it and I kept at it and I kept at it. And, you know, they have, when you're in class, they have the modified version, you know, that you can do if you have like an injury or something like that. They have the modified version. And so I didn't stop going to class. I would just do the modified version. But I kept going and I kept going. And now I was surprised at what my body can do now, you know. And then I was reading how the body, when God created us, He created the body to heal itself. I was just blown away. Yeah,
I was just writing that down because I just had to say that. I have to say that. You're absolutely right. He designed the body to heal itself.
Yep.
So how do you think it's going to do it? You have to put stuff in motion.
Right.
And the funny thing you said about balance, because on Saturday, that's what my practice was. It was about balance. And I said, man, God, we really need this as we get older, because we get clumsy, we fall, we trip. And it's like, I told the teacher, I said, thank you for that balancing. It's just what I needed. And even for me in running, I need to be able to balance. And it's so important. So those are some of the benefits, especially for you recovering from a stroke, probably paralyzed on one side. And like, I love the fact that you didn't give up, that you didn't cave in. You're looking at all the other yogas that are standing, but you can do modification. And sometimes the modification are better than quote unquote, the more advanced posture.
Right.
So that is key. And that's how the body designed to heal itself. You don't got to go to the chiropractor.
Right.
You go right to yoga.
Yeah.
And it aligns. That's what yoga does. It aligns the body and the mind.
Yep. And I'm so glad you broke that down, because, you know, I'm just over the whole, we're not supposed to be doing yoga deal and all of that. And here's my thing. Do what you do, you know.
Absolutely.
And allow other people to do what they do.
And don't judge people and condemn people, because that's their choice of exercise. That's their choice of what they decide to do. I'm praying that I don't go to hell for doing yoga.
Me either. Look, and if that's the case, I hope my baby don't go. But she 11 years old and she can do some yoga moves that'll put some of y'all to shame.
Do you know I did some teaching with some young kids over here in Orlando. It's Paramore Kids Zone.
Okay.
And I do yoga segment with them. And it's none of the postures, but just the quiet time and meditation. And I walk around the room and I ask them, after they sat there for a while, what are you grateful for? And the people come in, I wish we can get them to be quiet like this all the time. I said, because they're kids, they're so busy ripping and running.
Yep.
They need to learn how to have quiet time, meditation time. If people will learn to do that with their children, instead of letting them just rip and run, teach them how to meditate. Kids need to know how to be still and be quiet, especially in a world that's so chaotic.
Yes.
You have
absolutely agree.
You have to teach them. So I'm so glad that you're introducing that to her, not only for the physical aspect, but she'll know how to zone in, not just pray, but she'll know how to go in and quiet herself and still herself, because you never know what's going on around you. You can't control everything going on around you, but you can control what's going on with you.
Yes, absolutely. You absolutely
that's perfect. That's perfect right there.
You absolutely
perfect.
Now there's one exercise you do. Now we used to just do it for fun when we was growing up, but honey, you are. You already knew I was going. And we got the video.
Oh Lord. We
got the video. That one we could download. So tell me a little bit about how is hula hoop exercise now? When we just did it for fun when we were growing up, but now it's a major exercise movement.
You know, the thing is, the stuff that we did as kids, those are the things that kept us active and healthy. Like now the kids, we had to go out inside and hula hoop and jump rope and do hopscotch and hide and go seek. Those are things that we did when we was kids. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have all this stuff that we sat and watched on TV, you know? So we had to do those things. So back in like 2004, I was working at Curves and a lady walked in with a hula hoop. And I said, I like that. And so I tried it. And I just worked with it. And I convinced the owners to invest in those hula hoops. And we sold those hula hoops. And I just have a way with it. You went out?
Yeah. Okay, we're back.
Yeah. We're back. Okay, we're back. So we invested in those hula hoops, and I was standing in the circuit for hours and just hula hoop. It's great for the core. It's a great workout. I've taught classes with hula hoops. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a girly thing, you know. It's for girls. Right. We still got it in our 50s, you know. I still can work a hula hoop almost at 53 years old.
Yes, honey, you was working it, and guess what? Like I said, we got the video, and here she is hula hooping.
Oh, 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 oh. Hey, 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 hey.
That is so funny. That was taken at my son's event. My son has a fitness weekend that he does. And the young lady just was outside. And I said, may I grab your hula hoop? And when I started hula hoop, she said, oh, you really can hula hoop. I said, yeah, I can do a little something. And I had no idea. And my son sent it to me like a week later. And she said, Mom, this lady got you on her Instagram page. I said, really? So he sent that to me. But it's all in fun. I just enjoy it. And I think that's one of the things about physical activity or exercise. You can't look at it as it's a chore. Right. You got to look at a way of life. It's just like eating food. You know, you eat, you work out, you know, you bathe, you know, it's just a part of who I am. And I enjoy it. I just enjoy being active, and I enjoy, like you said, the body is incredible. It's incredible. God made us so magnificent, and we are capable of doing so many great things in our bodies. That's why I love watching gymnasts, and I love watching the ice skaters. You know, man, you just think, look at them. You know, the body is designed, and it is designed to do great things, and is designed to heal itself.
Yep.
And imagine that's where he dwells and that's where he lives, but he gives us the ability to take care of it. It is our responsibility to take care of the temple that he gives us, you know? And I was thinking, surely this tabernacle is gonna dissolve. That the word of God says that it's gonna dissolve, you know. I may not be doing this when I'm 95, but I guarantee you, if I'm still here, I'm gonna be walking. Right. If God, you know, I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm gonna take care of my body. I would not succumb to diabetes and high blood pressure and those type of things. A lot of times we have stuff that's hereditary. Yep. And once you know better, you do better. So you know you got a family that's you got a line of high blood pressure, diabetes. You don't have to succumb to that. Right. You can get ahead of that. My biological father died at 47 of an aneurysm. I'm almost 53. So that was not my fate. Right. So, and that was lifestyle. Preventative diseases that he had because his mother lived to be 95. So we know that was not family history. So we know we have lifestyle. We have to make lifestyle changes to have a better, healthier lifestyle. I'm not saying you can't eat fried chicken. I'm not saying you can't never have French fries, but everything needs to be done in moderation. Right. Right. We have to do everything in moderation. Even with exercise, can we overdo it? Sure. Do we get people that's like, oh, I got to do it if I, you know, I'm committed. Yes. But I have stuff that's set out. When I do it, okay, it's done for the day, or this is what I'm doing, you know. Right. So we just have to find that medium, that balance. Yes. That balance between spirit, our God, taking care of, you know, the word of God, feeding our spirit man, but you know, then you feeding your spirit man, but you ain't doing nothing for the temple. Right. Right. That's out of balance. That's out of balance. I can't say it no other way. I used to tell people, you might think you know what I'm doing, but I can see what you're doing. Right. 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 And I totally agree. We can overdo it. In fact, I had convinced myself that staying in the gym longer was giving me a better workout. So I would go to the gym and stay an hour and a half, 2 hours. And the last stroke I had, because I've had several, the last stroke I had, I was in the gym. In the gym, overdoing it, you know. And prior to that, my doctor had already told me, cut back some, you know. But in my mind, I was like, no, I can't, you know, I'm not going to let this beat me. You know, they had already told me I had a brain tumor. So I immediately went into this, it was almost like I thought I could reverse a brain tumor by exercising and, you know, all of that, you know, because your mind is just like, okay, what did I do to get this? How did I get this? Nobody in my family had this kind of tumor. So, you know, so your mind starts working on you. And like you said, you get into this place where, you know, you just got to do instead of having a set goal and some rules and regulations and some boundaries for yourself. Right. And so that's what happened to me. But now I'm in love with the fact that I've been able to stop eating some things. And of course, we don't tell people, well, you can't eat this or you can't eat that. That's something we chose to do. Yeah. You know, that's something personal. Absolutely. We chose to do. I chose to do it because of my health journey. And I like how I look wearing my size 10 jeans too. So, because I like to wear my heels in the jeans. You know, I think that is really important. And, you know, I've been teaching and facilitating all over in Orlando, and I've had some opportunity to travel. And that's one of the things I don't push my personal dietary on anybody. You know, I stopped eating meat way back in 2004. That was me. That's something that I wanted to do. And I don't miss not eating meat. I don't tell people that's what you got to do.
Right.
No, you're not going to look like me if you stop eating meat. No, that's
right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
But you have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
What really works for you. And we all can cut back on something, you know. You know, I'm a chip person, but I figure if I eat rice chips, it's better. Or, you know, if I get my late July chips, I'm good. But sometimes I can overdo it. So I have to tell myself, do you have to eat the whole bag, Angie? So what I have to do sometimes is I know I like them. I don't buy them. So some weeks I won't buy them at all. Okay, I was like, okay, you ate them all last week. You can't have none this week. You know, so we all have an area where we can cut back and add some more healthier things into our diet and take some things out. You know, if you stopping by McDonald's and getting that iced tea with all that sugar in it, just try for a week. Try for a week and not do it. If you're a person that drinks sodas, you know, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna try a week and not try to have no sodas. If you're a person you have to have coffee and you got to fill it up with cream, see if you can cut back. People that are most successful with change, not weight loss, with change, are the people that make small steps, small adjustment. If you're a person that just hate water, try to incorporate at least 8 ounces a day. Yeah. If you just, you know, some people say, I just can't drink water. See if you can find a way to get you 8 ounces, and the next day, just keep on adding it, because water flushes all the toxins out of our bodies. You know, so it's just making those small little changes. And when you make those small changes, you'll be like, wow, I don't even miss that. Yeah. I didn't even miss that. I didn't have that.
Yeah. Do you think there is a direct connection between what we eat and how we feel?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to make my eyes get big like that. Oh, definitely. You know how when we have Thanksgiving and we have all that food and everybody's so excited, then everybody gets so sluggish afterwards because the carbs, they that food does that to it. It's how we feel. I know some people, they eat because they love to eat. They love the feeling that it gives to them. Some people are satisfied when they're eating. We should never eat to the point where we just overstuff. Yeah. And it's certain food you can say versus eating a salad and having pasta. Yeah. You can have your nice salad and then over here have your pasta. You're gonna feel totally different after you eat the salad than you do when you eat the pasta. Yes. Yes. It does different things to the body. Absolutely. And it's about how we feel. Most people, if you ever watch a movie or you see a girl go through a breakup or kids do bad, first thing we want to do is go get some ice cream. We start munching on stuff because it's like we trying to feed that thing. Right. You know, some people, that's what they do when they have anxiety, depression, they eat. You know, so I always tell people, why are you eating? Right. If you ain't hungry, why do you eat?
Right. That's a good question.
Why are we eating? And I say that to myself sometimes. Okay, why you say, oh, I got the munchies, but you're not hungry. What is going on? Right. That you trying to eat it away. Sometimes we try to eat. We try to eat it away. You know, so you have to ask yourself, why am I munching on this? Why am I going to the refrigerator to get this ice cream? Why am I getting this another piece of cake? I done had 2 slices already, but why am I getting it? What is ailing me? What is eating me that I got to have another piece of cake? Right. So we have to confront those things. And sometimes we're eating out of boredom. We're eating because we stress. We're eating because we depressed. I thank God that that's not one of my things because it is real. That is something that is very real for a lot of people. Yep. And it's not just say, oh, stop eating. No, some people have serious issues. And I sympathize with them. And that's a work all by itself. That is a work all by itself. That some people have eating disorders. Yes. So that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother time. What we do, I do sympathize with people that have those disorders, because eating disorders are real. But one thing I know about eating disorder, there's a root.
Yes.
There's a root.
Yeah.
There is something deeper than you just starving yourself, or you eating then, or you just overeating. There's a root cause to that. And sometimes until we address the root cause, we won't never get past of that eating.
Right.
And some people, they still exercise and still have an eating disorder.
That's true. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen.
Yes.
One of the things you brought up that is the rule I made for myself. I can't eat it if I don't buy it. So that's one of the rules. A good one. Yeah, that's one of the main rules I have set for myself. If I don't buy it, then I can't eat it. You know. So, and then I'm a coffee drinker, but I know dairy is bad. So what did I do? I searched for almond creamers. You know, so now I'm free. I can have my coffee and I don't have to use sugar, you know. And then my almond creamer, it's like 25 calories, whereas the dairy creamer is like 150 calories, you know. So I have to sometimes just take my time, do my research, and then when I go to Publix or Whole Foods, I don't just run in and run out. That's the only two stores I really like to go in and take my time. Publix and Whole Foods. I don't like to go in clothes shopping. I do all that online. But when it comes to my food, give me Publix and give me Whole Foods and just let me go in there and stay as long as I want to. And that's what I do. I read labels now. I find myself training myself because my dad died from a heart attack. My dad also had thyroid cancer. You know, my mom had a heart attack. My mom has a pacemaker in now. You know, so it's incumbent upon me to make sure, even if let's just say I have that gene. Let's just say if I have the gene, that doesn't mean that has to become my reality. You know, because there are things that I can do that that can combat even my own DNA.
Yes.
You know, because that's how the body is designed. And so, what do you think about when people say, I can't exercise? I can't do it.
You know, what I will say to that, it is I have some friends, there are certain things that they cannot do for physical reasons. Like I got a friend, I wish I could run, but I can't run. They might have like a plate in their ankle, or they might have some other issues, or they're too heavy to run. There is something that you can do. You can get in the pool. You can take water aerobics. You know what I mean? And everybody walks. If you're not in a wheelchair, you can exercise. If you are not in a wheelchair and wheelchair bound, and you get up and you walk to your car, you walk in the grocery store, you walk around the mall, you can exercise. It's just walking. Walking has always been the number one exercise. Everything else is just extra. Right. But if you can take 10 minutes out the day, pay yourself. I tell people when I teach classes, pay yourself first. I'm a firm believer in that. If some kind of way, you have to pay yourself first. And if it's just taking a nice brisk walk every day or every other day, if you can do that, invest in you some tennis shoes. I mean, the shoes that cost me the most are my tennis shoes. Not my dress shoes, but my tennis shoes. Because they're gonna do a whole lot more for me. I'm gonna wear them more than I'm gonna wear them dress shoes. I can tell you that much. You can do something. I look at my mom. She's 72 and she's still active. She's still working by choice, but she's active. She's been active all the time. She's always on the move, and I love to see her with some tennis shoes on because she's moving. Right. You know what I mean? When she put her little tennis shoes on and she go for her little walk. You got seniors going to the mall to walk. Yes. So it's not that you can't. And if you got something that's going on that's keeping you from walking, you need to see your physician.
Mm-hmm.
I really need to get moving, not just for weight loss. I need it for here. I just need to be able to release some of this stress, some of this tension, some of the anxiety, some of the things that I'm dealing with. If I can just go out for a walk, even on your lunch break. I see a lot of people, a lot of women wear heels to work, but on their lunch break, they got their tennis shoes. They take their tennis shoes, they go for a walk.
Right.
So, like we said before, we have to find things that we can do and that we love to actually do it. Hula, like you said about the hula hooping.
Yeah.
You know, I saw late the other day doing double dutch, and I was like, man, I wish we grew up doing double dutch.
Right.
We didn't grow up doing double dutch. A lot of the girls up north, that's what they did.
Right.
And I saw the chick, and I was like, man, I wish I could learn how to do that.
Right.
You know, but I'm like, I don't want to break my ankle trying to jump in. But you know, that's all part of fun and the activity. You know. So we have to find something, and it's life and death in the power of the tongue. If you say I can't do it, you ain't gonna do it.
Right. Right.
If you say, wow, I can't do that, or I can't do this, instead of saying I would love to do that, is there another way I can do it? Is it something else that I could do? You know, I can't run, or I can't do this. Could you get on an elliptical?
Yeah.
Could you ride a bike? Can you do a stationary bike?
Right.
Well, maybe you're a person you want to get you a bike. There are so many different forms of way of being active that we all can do something. So I think that's just some people. Well, you know, some of us don't like to get our hair messed up. You know,
right?
Some people don't like to sweat. Some people don't like to glisten. They don't like to sweat. You know, so I always tell people, if you don't find time now, you'll find time later.
Amen.
You will find time. You will find time later. You will make time to go to get them high blood pressure pills. Yep. You will find time to go to dialysis. You will find time for all of those. Them doctor visits, we make time for them. So you can make time and investment to take care of the temple where you say he lives and where he dwells.
Right.
We make time for it.
Yeah. I saw a video that you were teaching a class and everybody was sitting in chairs.
Oh, yeah.
What was that about?
It's chair exercise. Because I've taught seniors, I taught children, I've taught everybody. And there's so much we can do just by sitting in the chair. That's why I said, you know, you don't have to stand. And so I would probably start off in the chair. I'll probably end up out the chair and back. But I've taught chair exercise. For those people can't stand for a long time. Like, for instance, if you was to have come to that class, being that you had issues from having a stroke, standing a long period of time probably was not going to be good for you.
Right.
So we're going to do, anytime I walk into a room and I'm teaching, I always look at my audience. And I always say, what's going to be the best workout?
Okay.
I want everybody to be able to get something out of this. And if I see that this is going to be a chair class, the people that normally would stand, they still going to benefit. But I don't want to do something so advanced that the other people are not able to participate, because then they ain't going to want to come back.
Right.
So I do something for everybody. So that's what that was. That was actually a chair exercise. I think the whole class was done in the chair.
All right. So we do have that clip, and I'm going to let you see it now.
4, 3, guess what? 2, 1. On that out. Pick them up on that out. Pick them up on that out. Pick them up now. Come on, get them up. Up on the toes. Up on the toes. 8, up, 7. Push it. Come on. 6. Yes, enjoy. 5. Up, 4. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Make it work. 8. Pick your legs up. 7. Come on. 6. 5. Be good. 4. 3. 2. 1. Now get right there.
I know they was feeling the burn.
I know. Let me tell you something. I love watching you teach your classes. I promise you, I absolutely Love it. And I'm like, honey, she is a beast. I'm gonna have to take my B12. I'm gonna have to put on my B12 patch before I fool with you.
I just love it. I love it. I really love it. And it's kind of shame doing the COVID right now. I haven't taught a class, man, in over a year. And I do miss it. What I love is teaching the kids. I do kids too. It's a part of me giving a part of me. It's right. I love to inspire. I love to motivate. I love to encourage people. I love to see people who say they couldn't make it through the class, make it through the class. I love to see the smiles on the people's faces. I just love it. I just think it's one of the greatest gifts that God has given me. Right. The ability to enjoy exercising and working out, and he put me in a good place. The agency that I work for, I got to be under the umbrella, and I got to teach, and I got to go so many churches, so many community centers, and in teaching, I give a lot, but I receive so much. Yeah, because the people, they pour back into me. Just seeing their smiles on their faces and just seeing them show up. I get a lot out of that. I really, really do. And I just thank God for the gift. I really do. Because looking at that video, I was just laughing, right. Like, man, I miss that. I miss doing those type of things,
So tell me this, and we're almost done. Tell me this. How do you know when your endorphins start kicking in? How do you know that? And can you explain to our audience what to look for? How should they feel? Because sometimes people can do something, but I ain't see no difference. What should they look for? I can tell you for a fact. I know I have more clarity. I'm more productive. When I'm on a regular exercise regimen, I can tell the shift in my body, the shift in my mental capacity, the shift in my emotional well-being. But how would you explain that to someone who maybe is just starting out? What do they look for?
It's exactly what you said. The endorphins. You have so much more clarity. You feel lighter. It's like that happy go feeling. Like, man, I really can do that all over again. That's different from the runner's high. When the runner's high, I feel like I can fly. Honestly, God, I don't even feel my feet. It's like almost like a out of body experience. Yeah, is that I may be running a 750 mile or something like that, and I don't even feel it. And one of the things is when I'm finished running and I walk, I feel like I haven't done nothing. That is like one of the most amazing feelings after you have run 9 or 10 miles and you finish, you stop your watch and you begin to walk. And my feet doesn't feel like it just traveled 9.5 miles. Right. That is like one of the most amazing feelings. So and it's funny, I think I don't live for that feeling, but it comes so naturally now because I'm conditioned. I'm conditioned. It's gonna happen. It's a given that I'm going to do it. But I'm so much better. I do all my running that I do in the morning. Okay. And I'm so much clearer. I'm ready for my day. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to give because I've paid myself first. Right. I've done myself. I get up, I have my morning meditation, and then I'm gone. And then once I come back, I reset. And now I'm ready to offer myself to my job, to whatever else that I have. So when you are doing that and you have those endorphins, it's like those happy feelings. Yeah, like you feel good, you smiling, you know, stuff that you were struggling with before. You probably like, well, I didn't even think about that the whole time I was working out. Your endorphins kicked in. Yeah.
And that's a good way to explain it. So I do hope that all of you that are watching and those of you that are watching on the replay, I do hope that you understand. We're talking about today how exercise, and this comes from the Harvard School of Medicine, the assistant professor of psychiatry at Harvard School of Medicine is suggesting that exercise is just as effective as antidepressants. And we also we alluded to the fact that there are people who have more severe depression. Please, here's our disclaimer. Please still see your therapist. Please still see your physician. I don't care if you start exercising every day. Please still see your physician. If you find yourself struggling with depression or anxiety or any type of phobias, people don't realize that phobias are mental health diagnoses. People that are afraid of flying, people that have arachnophobia, people that have different phobias, those are mental health issues. And so even being suicidal, we're seeing a lot because we're in this time of COVID. They were doing statistics on women who have lost their jobs, and now the children are home every day. The wives are home every day with the children. There's absolutely no outlet. And so they were talking about how women now, there has been a rise in cases of women with depression. And so, but we know women deal with depression more than men, but men report symptoms of depression less than women. So that could have a lot to do with the statistics that we see, because men don't say, oh, I feel kind of off today. Men don't say, well, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. Because you ask a man, well, what's wrong? Nothing. But you've been laying around now for 2 weeks. Oh, I'm all right. And so we still have to have these hard conversations. And I know when you say mental illness or mental health, it makes people uncomfortable. Depression and anxiety, it sounds a little bit more cute than saying mental illness, but it is what it is. And we have got to have the hard conversations. I always say this when I start talking about mental health issues. I wish that leaders in the church, when you're doing your conferences, your convocations, your leadership training, I would that they would make it mandatory for leaders to take a class in psychology, if for nothing else than to recognize signs of depression and anxiety, or someone in the development stage of schizophrenia or something. Because what we have done, and primarily in the Black church, what we have done, anytime we see somebody struggling with mental health issues, we immediately assign them a demon, and we want to immediately start praying for them and casting this out. And that's so far from what that person needs. That's not what they need. And so I wish that we could get that done, where our church leaders are more informed about what mental health really is and how to recognize it. Because truth be told, I know a lot of preachers, bishops, apostles, prophets, pastors that have mental health issues, and they don't even know it. Well, how do I know? I know it by two things. Number one, I recognize it because I struggle with it. And then I recognize it because that's my field of study. So I can see it. I know it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? So I wish they would get the help that they need so they can help others. And like you said, that will be a form of them paying yourself first. Get the help you need, get you healthy, and then you can help other people.
Yeah. I think one of the things too is we need to get over the stigma of it.
Yep.
The embarrassment or feeling shame. I mean, you know, I think back a long time ago when people suffered with that, it was not mental health. It wasn't anxiety. It wasn't depression. We say they were cuckoo or they was crazy. So that's how we label people. So if we give people space and grace to be able to deal with what they're dealing with, because some things that you will deal with in life, it will throw you for a loophole. And, you know, it don't mean you don't love God. It don't mean you don't have a relationship with God, you know. So sometimes some people you can talk it through. Some people can just talk it through. But there are some people, like we say, are so severe. They need medication to help them cope with certain things. And a lot of it probably stems from childhood drama just manifesting now into adulthood. That's good. You know, it ain't like you just woke up today and I'm depressed. It ain't like you just lost your job and your wife and everybody just left you home and now you're depressed. It's probably dealing with some stuff that has not been dealt with. And now you're seeing the manifestation of it then. But we have to give space and we have to give grace for those people so that if they come to you and say, I'm dealing with a bout of depression or I'm feeling this kind of way, you know, you think you can help me and not judge me and then talk about me and go, girl, she dealing with something. She got something going on. We're good for that in the church. Good for it. We're good in that. So people suffer in silence because they don't have no one they can trust or they can go and talk to. But when it comes to those type of disorders and dysfunction, we have to give people the grace and the space to be able to deal with those issues and be able to work them out. We have to do that in the body of Christ or even within our own families. We be together. You be at your family reunion. You hear them talking about this person and that person. So you know if that person is dealing with something, instead of us talking about it, you know, I know somebody that can help you. I know where you probably can get some help. You know, I know somebody you can talk through some stuff with. You might not want to talk to me, but I know someone that you can get some help with. And that's how we have to do it. And just grace, if we can just give space and grace.
Yeah, I like that. Space and grace. Space
and grace. If we can just give people space and grace to work out some stuff. We got to be able to unravel and be able to work out some stuff.
In a safe space.
In a safe space. It has to be, you know, I was fortunate, and I know we got to go. I went to Girl Trek in Colorado, and that's one of the things I learned about having a sacred place. A sacred place to deal with some of your stuff. All your stuff cannot be dealt with in the open, but you got to have grace, space to deal with some stuff. And a lot of times we don't have that. And so when it comes to that mental health, illness, anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenic, all of that, people need to have space and grace to be able to work through that stuff. It's not one fit all. Some people might need 50 sessions. Somebody else might only need 10 sessions. Somebody might need even 5. But if we don't open it up and make people not feel like they crazy, they cuckoo, or you just need to get your life right. You just need to get to the altar. No, some people really need some help. And we got to give that grace to those people.
I absolutely agree. And I could not have said that better myself. I mean, because it is still such a taboo subject in the Black community and in the Black church. You know, we'll say, oh, leap for joy. Okay. Run around the church 7 times, you know, and all the walls in your life gonna fall down. Well, I done ran 7 times and I went home and I still couldn't get out of bed the next day. You know, it's, okay. We're doing all these things, but we're neglecting to deal, like you said, with the root of the problems.
The root of the problem.
We're neglecting to deal with the individual, you know. Because it's easier to put people off than to get into the battle with people. Because when I come into your battle with you, now I got to pay attention to what's bothering you, because now your enemy is my enemy, and I got to pay attention to you. I got to pay attention to what's going on around us, so that if I jump into your battle, my objective is not to stay in your battle with you. My objective is to get in your battle and bring us both out. That's the objective.
You know, that's another sermon. That's a whole nother sermon right there, honey. You know, that'll preach all by itself.
Yeah. So listen,
I'm just gonna say amen. I'm just gonna say amen. I'm not gonna even open that can up.
Listen, I have had so much fun with this interview, and I thank you so much to agree for agreeing to do this. I'm going to have you back, and we're going to actually. I'm going to have you back, and we're going to actually do some exercises on the show live, and so you can help us get these temples in premium working condition. Let me say it like that.
Oh yeah,
premium working condition.
Yes.
Because our goal is not vanity, but our goal is to get our temples and get our bodies into the best functioning working conditions that we can. We already know with age, some things are just going to naturally start to break down. We got that. But I feel like if we have taken proactive measures, then when that time comes, we still can walk around on our own. We still have the mobility. We still have good muscle tone and bone structure. Why? Because we've taken care of those things. I do want you to hit on one thing right quick before we go. I do want you to hit on, I saw a video you were making a smoothie. Can you just hit on that real quick? How important that is to get those fruits and vegetables in, even if you say, well, I just can't sit there and just eat fruits and vegetables. Well, you can drink them.
You can drink them. You can drink them. I think on that particular video, I think I was teaching the ladies how to make a healthy smoothie after a class. So, so many people now, they don't want to eat fruit because fruit got so much sugar, but it's natural sugar in it. Not saying that's something you can do every day, but you can load up a blender with some like some spinach or some kale, put you a few little pineapple, some strawberry. I'm not really big on protein, because I'm vegetarian. So I'm not really putting powder and all that kind of stuff, because I figure there's other ways that you can get it. But you need to try to get you some greens. You need to try to get you some fruits. And I always tell people what works for you. However it works for you. You just got to find your happy space and place, even when it comes to your eating.
Right.
Even with that. So I am one that I actually, it's a gentleman here. He makes them for you. Okay. They're frozen. And you just pick them up and they just in a little bag and you can just have them to go.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. It's an easy way to get it in.
That's great. Again, thank you, cousin, for being on the show. I've learned so much tonight, and I know that my audience have learned so much. And now I have a little surprise for you. So this took a little doing. I had to do a little research, and I had my guy make a video for you. If you like, we'll put it on the disc and I'll mail it to you. But here is a video we made of you. Let's see. Here we go.
You really did some research. You really did some research.
Surprise!
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I just thank you for thinking enough of me to research some of my work that I've done. and put a video together. I've never had no one to do that for me. I've been teaching over 16 years, and I've never had no one to put a video of some of the work that I've done in the community here. So I am greatly appreciative of that. I was like, I forgot I was on camera. My mouth was wide open. I hope that
I saw you. No, nobody could see you but me.
Okay. I was like, no, my mouth was wide open. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for having me. It has been an honor and a privilege. And it's been so hard to look at you because you look just like your mom. So every time I look at you, look like Aunt Sarah. For y'all that don't know that, that's my aunt. My mom and her mom are sisters. Right. And every time I look at you, it's like I'm looking at Aunt Sarah. So I just want to tell you, thank you for thinking enough of me, of my gift.
Yes.
To even ask me to be a part of your show. And keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing great things. And God is faithful.
Yes,
he is truly faithful. And I just want to tell you thank you, cousin. And I love you.
I love you too. I love you. And it's been my pleasure having you on the show. Y'all want to see her video again? I just got to play it one more time.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And that is who I am. That is exactly who I am. I mean, that is who I am.
But did you see the title of the video?
My inspiration. Yeah, that was the first thing I saw.
My inspiration.
And that's all I ever wanted to do, is to be an inspiration, to inspire our sisters, our sisters to get up and get moving, no matter how small it is. I don't do it for show.
Right.
I just do it because it's something that I love to do. I love it. You know, I'll probably be doing it until he calls me home. I'll probably be at the senior citizen place still trying to do some exercise. Because you see, I have balls, I have hula hoops. Right. But by any means necessary, I can figure out a way to make it work out.
Be like, hold my hips steady while hula hoop.
Yes.
Well, listen, because I love you so much. And again, thank you for being a guest. You guys, we're going to have her back, and we're going to do some exercises live on the air. And
absolutely.
And so, listen, in the meantime, in the between time, if you are struggling with depression or anxiety, even thoughts of suicide, I want you to write down this 1-800 number and call the number, get help. They'll direct you to someone in your area that can help you. And here is the number. All right. I hope everyone had time to get that number. If not, inbox me and I'll get that information out to you. And again, thank you all for watching Live Talk with Benita Bradley. I have been your host, Benita Bradley, and a wonderful thanks to my cousin, Angela. Thank you so much for joining us. And listen, you will be back again. All right.
All right. I would love to come back.
Oh, my pleasure. Until next time, guys, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye-bye.